Hey everybody, welcome to your unpaid therapist.
Hello, welcome to another episode of your unpaid therapist.
I'm not getting paid. I didn't even get a donut.
Oh, that's sexy though. I like it.
I'm Valery Milagros Ortiz.
I don't know.
I am your host, Alicona. She's away. Bradford.
This is your unpaid therapist. Shoo-wah, cha-cha.
Shoo-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the fabulous show. You know me. I'm your girl, Alicona. Golly Jesus, do I know my name? Valery, can you take over?
Y'all, this is my girl, Alicona. She's away. Bradford. And of course, you know me, Valery Ortiz, and we're here's another episode of your unpaid therapist. And we have another amazing guest that are actually as another great friend of Alicona. She's bringing on all the great guests. So I'm going to let you take it away now that you got past your name and introduce her.
The struggle is so real, you guys. Okay, so today presenting the very lovely, gorgeous, and curvaceous. Her name is Yael Tygiel. She is a plus size model and she loves her own skin. Like, I love that she walks so confidently and proud of who she is and how she stands in the world. And that's why I wanted to have her on. She's also a host for Electric Now and used to host with me on AfterBuzz TV. So hello, hi, Yael. Welcome.
Hello, I'm so excited to be here.
Thank you. I'm so excited I just made it through the intro.
You did it. You knew your name. I'm so
You're
proud of you.
amazing at intros, girl. So
yay. And now it is time for me to toss it on over to Miss Valery Sassy Ortiz to do our Never Have I Ever.
Okay, so if you guys are new to the show, we like to do these Never Have I Evers because one, they're fun, good icebreakers. Sometimes we get into some deep combos. So this is a way to keep it light and get some juicy ass details about people that we didn't know. Like you guys, the things I have learned about Alicona. The Never Have I Evers. I'm like, honestly, I probably wouldn't have known these things if it wasn't for the podcast. So let's get it started. I'm going to fan these cards that I have here in this studio, and I'm going to put them towards the screen. And Yael, is there a color that pops out at you?
Ooh, pink.
Okay,
There's a lot of pink.
Pink. I'll take this one. That's
Sure.
in front of my face. Never have I ever been proposed to. Have you?
I have not been proposed to, but I have proposed.
Fun. Tell us more.
I proposed to a good friend of mine in Toronto, and she said yes. So we're engaged. We've been engaged for a few years, but yeah, I proposed. You know, Trump was elected.
You have to give more details about that. Like,
I just needed an escape from the U.S. in case things went bad.
So it's not like a super romantical proposal. You're just like, hey, girl.
No, but I'm engaged. So, you know.
Congrats.
Thanks.
I love that. Congratulations. I have been proposed to. I was proposed to.
You should have seen my face, Val. I was like, what?
I know. I was like, wait a minute. You know this. Actually, I don't think you know the story, but you know that I think you just forgot. She thought I was proposed to in my recent relationship, and we would not be friends if you didn't know that information. But in my previous, I was proposed to. It was actually really cool. Like, he did a good job. We were doing this adventure in Puerto Rico with like zip lining and rappelling down a waterfall and super cool, whatever. And he had, I guess, organized it, and they knew everybody in the crew or whatever. And so for the very last zip line, they had done it where I was the last one, and I didn't obviously catch on. So I was the last one. He had, I gave him the camera. We kept switching it the whole time. And so as I was like zip lining through this rainforest in Puerto Rico, when I landed on my landing thing, he was on one knee. Aww. And people were like filming and stuff. So it was cool. Yeah, I was so shocked.
Wow.
That's so beautiful.
Right, that means that David's got to come with something super huge now.
I've never told David this, and I honestly don't think he listens to the podcast that often, so.
Aww.
He will not hear it. And if he does, he'll be fine.
Well, clearly my answer is no. So, yeah, okay.
Okay. All right. You pick a card, Alicona.
Let's do the one and only lonely yellow card.
Okay. Never have I ever had a surprise party thrown for me.
No, I haven't.
Okay.
Oh, I throw my dog parties. Does that count?
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
not me either.
I
know
haven't
you have that.
either.
What? That's a
No.
shock.
Not like a
Our-
surprise.
Our friends
maybe
all
like,
suck.
Right.
yeah, like maybe like an engagement. I guess that counts. An engagement party was a surprise. I don't know. I guess nothing that like I would, nothing that I would want. Like that sounds really mean, but like when you imagine these parties or you see it on TV and you're like, ah, that's so cute. Or things I've done for other people. Yes.
Shade. Things I've done for you guys, but you haven't done for me. Okay.
I was actually talking to a good friend about this the other day because I'm planning my 40th, and I'm like, and I've helped plan other people's like birthday surprises, and I'm like, I really wish I didn't have to be doing this for myself, but everybody has their strengths. And she's like, but that's like your thing. I'm like, no. All right, moving on. Never have I ever had something go dangerously wrong. See, we just
What? Okay, Val is fired from printing out these
I'm
never have
fired,
evers because they
man.
keep popping up over and over again.
They do. Okay, never have I ever re-gifted something.
Yeah, who doesn't do that
All the
sorry,
time.
Never. Sorry.
Yeah, I have. Like, especially back in the day when I had all these like when you go to those events that those gifting suites. That's what it's called. And you get like all those lotions and like random stuff that it's like really, really good, but you already have like you don't need I hate a bunch of stuff, so I definitely re-gifted it. Give it to my mom or friends or whoever wanted it. Whatever y'all re-gifted.
I've regifted a lot of stuff. Definitely gifting sweet stuff. I used to take bags of crap to AfterBuzz and leave it there for people to take because what am I going to do with all this shit?
Dude,
Totally.
where was I?
Yeah, they were like vultures there. There was nothing left by the time you arrived.
Well, dang. I remember Maria Menounos actually used to bring stuff from her closet. Like once a year, she'd clean stuff out. And I'd be like, hell yeah, I got all these like real nice dresses and stuff. I was like, score. So, yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Anyways, okay, guys, so let's get in today's topic. I was mentioned earlier in the intro. So, Yael, what I really love about you, and I've known Yael for, gosh, a decade, if not more. And I remember specifically like going to coffee with you and this and that and the third. And you've always been that person that's like, yeah, like, I look good and I like the way, like you have big boobies and they're great and you're not shy about it. Like you wear your clothes so beautifully and well and just I love that so much. And I wish I could share your confidence and sprinkle it around with everybody. So I just want to know, like, where does that even come from?
Well, thank you. First of all, the boobies come from my grandma.
No.
But I don't think that's what you were asking. So the truth is I've always been a big girl. I grew up a big girl and it took me a very long time to get to where I am now. And where I am now, I love all of it. Not that there aren't days where I don't feel great, but generally I love my body. I'm happy with my body. And I know that is so hard for most people because we literally live in a world that is constantly trying to tear us down. And not just the media and society, but internally we have these words in our head. People say things all the time. Today I did bad, or I ate bad, or I shouldn't have had this. And that's a whole other conversation about how food is fuel and literally you need it to live. But it took me a long time. And my biggest advice to get here is find something, look in the mirror, find something you like today. And it might be your hair came out great. It might be the jeans fit right. It might be you got your wing liner perfect. Find something that day and say, this is great. And that's what you're leading with that day. And eventually it will continue to grow and you will learn to love other things in other parts of your body. My other big advice, and this is a social media thing, change who you're following. Do not follow people that make you feel bad about yourself. Do not follow people that are goals. Do not follow people that are what you think you should look like. You're telling your brain that something is wrong with you. And what you should be doing is following people that you know, people that are good for you, and people that help you be a better you. So those are my two little bits. If you do nothing else, start there.
Yeah. I wanted to ask, and what your thoughts on, because obviously in the intro, you, Alicona, and this is what it's called and what society calls it, but described her as a plus size model. How do you feel with the fact that that has to even be said? Like, why can't you just be a model? Because even as we were saying that, like, I was like, that's fucking annoying. You're a model. Like, the fact
Thanks.
that there's even another category, I don't know, is that something that you welcome, that you're like, no, I am plus size, I love to say that proudly, like, I like that they say that, or just what are your thoughts on it?
Great question. I would say years ago, there was this whole big social media campaign about dropping the word plus, about getting rid of it.
Hmm.
It was called the
Okay.
Drop the Plus campaign. I did this photo shoot in my undies with these other plus models. It was very, very fun.
Ooh, can we get a photo of that one?
No, don't. It's Googleable. Don't look it up.
Oh, but you just said it was
Okay, well,
Google,
we're
so
proud
we're
of you
all gonna
anyway.
Google it now. Thank you,
I'm
Yael.
just saying, it was so old now. I don't even look like that anymore.
But that's
That's
awesome
all.
that you were part of that.
But my big thing is, I like the term plus size. I personally I prefer to refer to myself as fat, because we have this connotation that the word fat is a negative, and fat is a
Sure.
fact. It is just a part of me. I am a brunette. I am fat. When I say that I'm a brunette, you would never go, no, no, no. Like, no, you're beautiful. No, I'm a brunette. That is fact. I am fat. That is fact. I am happy with my body the way that it is, even
Mhm.
though, we see that word, because in your brain you might be thinking, well, fat's a negative because you connect the word fat with something else. I am fat and beautiful. I am fat and sexy. I am fat and a brunette. But, these are just facts about myself. But Alicona has a confused face and I'm concerned.
I do. I do. So, because I don't see you and see fat. Like, yes, I see curvy and I see voluptuous. And maybe that is my own programming that tells me, like, fat negative, don't ever say that to somebody. But also, if you're looking at it from a scientific term, like, okay, there's fat on cells and we all have fat and whatever. But I just, like, as a descriptive word, I see you as, like, well proportioned and curvy. Like, yes, you got a booty, and yes, you got boobies, and you have, like, a little waistline, and, like, you have shape to you. So it's very interesting to me that you see yourself as that and as a fact. And before you respond, yeah, I'm going to ask you to eat your mic a little bit when you talk.
Yes.
But have at it. You're welcome to rebuttal if you so wish.
I just, the question that I have for you is, when you say that you don't see that, why does it feel so important to you to say that to me, to tell me that I'm not? Because one, I'm telling you that that is who I am and that is what I am. And two, the fact that you don't see it because maybe you think that I'm smaller than other people who might be considered fatter. And so that in your mind might be that they are fat, but no, you're not one of them, if that makes sense. And so,
Mm.
yes, everybody has fat on their body, but you wouldn't look at a thin person, and when they say I'm thin, you wouldn't go, no, you're not thin. I wouldn't call you thin.
Yeah, but and Valerie, I'm gonna let you pipe in too. But, like, that's, for
Mhm.
example, like, I don't like if someone calls me skinny. I am not skinny, because you can be skinny fat, meaning you're skinny but you're not in shape. You don't do anything, and so your muscles are soft. I work very hard to be lean. I would prefer if someone were to refer to me as, "Oh, Ali Kona, yeah, she's really lean," or I can be petite, but I don't like being called skinny.
This is
So,
all so amazing. A
um,
couple things, because you were allowed to refer to yourself, or you were allowed to describe somebody else as skinny fat, but you didn't let her describe herself as that. That's
You're
one. And two, it's funny because like if somebody calls me skinny, I'm like, thank you, girl. I love like, and my boyfriend hates that. My boyfriend will, if I even utter the word skinny, he's like, you're not skinny. He's like, ew, no, you're not skinny. He's like, you're curvy, you're voluptuous. He's like, you got sugar thighs. You like if I were skinny, this man would not be attracted to me. And so if somebody calls me skinny, I'm like, I love you. And he's like, ew, no, you're not skinny. He's like, you're athletic, you're this. And so it's just interesting how everybody takes whatever these words are and like owns them in whatever way to make them feel good, like whatever. And we were all so completely different.
And that's a big part of it, is that society has taught us that one thing is better than the other, or we've internalized that one thing is better than the other. And the truth is, every body is a good body. It doesn't matter if you're thin, if you're skinny, if you're athletic, if you're fat, if you're skinny fat, if you're fat skinny, if you're mid-size, if you're plus size, any of these terms, your body is perfect the way that it is. And I think that that's really important. And that's the message that I want to get out, is that whatever body you have, whether it is healthy or not, because we should not be shaming people who are unhealthy or disabled or in transition between things. Every body is a perfect body.
Now, you did mention that it's been a journey for you to get to where you are now. Where did that journey start for you?
Oh,
Or
what
I
a
guess
good
how?
question. Yeah, I honestly don't know how it started, but I
Okay.
remember how the change started. So I don't know like where I said I'm going to do better, but the change started when I was at AfterBuzz and I realized that I did not know how to dress myself. And
Oh,
that, to be fair, is a problem because of the way that the time period that I grew up in as an elder millennial, there were no plus size clothing options. The options were tents to cover your body. We were raised to cover our bodies because our bodies were shameful. And so I got a stylist who taught me how to dress myself. And that changed so much for me because now I knew where my waist was and how to put the skirt at the smallest part of my waist so that it flared out nicely over my backside. That was something I didn't know because I grew up in the age of skinny jeans that didn't come in my size and girls with the thongs sticking out in the back. And I
yeah.
couldn't wrap my head around how that was done because I couldn't find skinny jeans in my size. So I'll tell you a secret. All of my friends made fun of me in high school because I wore mom jeans, had no idea that they were mom jeans. They were just the jeans available in my size. And I would buy thongs that were huge so I could pull them up high enough to stick out of my pants
Ah,
so that I could do the thing that everyone was doing.
that's funny
That's amazing.
and sad. It's
So
like
sad. My friend
funny
said
sad.
that they would look at me and go, this girl has her thong so far up her ass because it's sitting at at her waist. What is she doing? No one thought to tell me low rise jeans. Low rise.
I can only imagine like
Yeah. I don't
how
even know how that trend
uncomfortable.
became popular. Like y'all, like what was happening?
I don't know.
Why? Let's go back. The thong song. I'm gonna blame it on Cisco.
Let's go. That's
Yeah,
funny.
okay. So then this you figured out how to dress yourself, and then that's when the confidence came, or was it just always there, you just didn't know how to dress yourself?
I That's when it came because
Um,
I could see myself and go, wait, I do look good. Wait a second. If I
mm,
wear something that fits me right, then I can see that I look good. And up until that point, I don't think I ever noticed that. And so, I'd look in the mirror and I go, wow, this shirt looks incredible. Wow, I
cute.
should wear V-necks. You know what I mean? Like things that I never knew to do. And I learned how to dress myself and then started to love myself. And now, now with the incredible amount of plus size influencers, plus models, and plus fashion available, I now have options. And a cousin of mine said that his mother, so my aunt, messaged him and was like, have you seen pictures of Yael and how great she looks? Like, looks amazing. She's never looked like this before. And I went, first of all, I've always looked like this. What you're seeing is that there are now clothing options. That's the difference. I've always been this good looking. I also happen to be the exact same size I've been since 8th grade, but I, now know how to dress myself.
Right. The package is presented differently.
Exactly. It's like the pictures where people show, like, from one angle they look on Instagram, they look a specific way, and then the other angle you go, oh, it's lighting.
Yeah. 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 Posture, wardrobe. Yeah. Now, something that I have struggled with, I think a lot of women have as well. I think Alikona, you and I have talked about this like from back in the day for different reasons. How has your journey been with swimsuits? And is that different? Like, are there now swimsuits that you're like, yes, girl, or is it still the same? Like, is that still the same idea? Like, now you find the ones that you're like, I love how I look in this one.
Great question. I spent most of my life wearing a t-shirt over a swimsuit.
Yeah.
And now we have the invention of fatkinis, as they are referred to lovingly.
Oh, really? I've never heard of this.
You're not in the fat world. It's the plus size bikini. It's basically just a plus size bathing suit, 2-piece. That's all.
Okay.
That's what a fatkini is.
And is it like a 1-piece? Is it a 2-piece?
2 pieces. And the
Okay.
bottom is usually a high rise, like an old school style high rise. And then the top can be any sort of top. So I love a fatkini. But I'll say this, because as Alikona did point out, I am a little bit top heavy. And so I wear a bra underneath a bathing suit top.
Oh,
I have
we got a little
extra perk.
secret.
You gotta, something's gotta hold them. The bathing suit top isn't going to.
Yeah, that's great advice for those women who are endowed.
So the real advice is you take the bra that's already broken. You know what, the one that the wires already started jabbing you? That's the one, because you've already ruined it. It's already ruined. You put that underneath the bikini top.
Interesting.
You heard it here first, ladies.
So,
I like that. Listen, that's something I would do when I wanted to fill my bikini. Right?
Oh, right. Put all the extra. You remember those like little paddings, like the little gels that you put in?
Let me put 4 in there.
Right. Like Yael knows nothing about this.
I've seen them. I've seen them at the store.
So then, Yael, I'd be curious to know, because when you and we had reconnected, and because you said you're the same size that you were in 8th grade, but I look at you and I feel like you have lost a few pounds, and I didn't know if that was maybe just you've been on the go, or if that was a decision because it's health conscious, not necessarily like I'm not comfortable in my body, but I have to do this because I don't know, high blood pressure or something crazy like that. But like, what was your motivation to do that? And does it ever offend you if someone looks at you and they're like, oh my God, you look so good? Is your first instinct like, well, did I not look good before? Like, what the hell?
Yeah. So I'll start there. First of all, when someone tells me I look good, the answer is, I know, thank you. Because that is true, because I know and thank you. When somebody tells me, oh, you look like you've lost weight, my instinct is to go, I haven't. And here is why. We, in our brains and because of society, believe that complimenting weight loss is a positive. And the problem with that is that people sometimes lose weight because of grief, because they're sick, because of medication, because of depression, because of anything else going on in their life. So complimenting weight loss is not a positive that we should be encouraging people to do. That said, I am currently the same size that I was in 8th grade and in high school. And yes, I did, between high school and now, as I said, I'm an elder millennial. That's quite a few years. I have gained a lot of weight due to medication and life, and then lost weight due to health and life. Not intentional, not I wanted to get healthier. Just things happened in life and our bodies change and our weights fluctuate. So those are true facts. But when somebody goes, oh my God, you look great. You lost so much weight. How did you do it? I go, I know I look great. I did not lose weight. That's all.
Period. Man, that sparked up so many things just culturally too. Like growing up Puerto Rican, speaking on someone's weight was and I think still is, I don't know, very common and like um just older people mainly would like, oh, like that's the fucking first and it makes me angry. The first thing they mention, like, oh, está gordita, oh, tú estás flaquita, like, one or the other. You're either flaquita,
Mhm.
really skinny, like, or gordita, you're fat. And then they'd give you these, like, even I have a friend who's bigger, and my mom, my parents, like, they called her Goldie, and like a cute little nickname. I'm like, y'all, like, obviously not to her face, but I'm like, don't do that. Like, I stopped them. I was like, that's not nice. Like, even if it's not in front of her, I was like, I don't like that. Like, I don't like it for anybody. Um and it's interesting because my mom has done it because that's what she saw, but then she's mentioned it on how she doesn't like it. And it's like, it's funny because accidentally that it was in put in her brain. So I love that you pointed that out because even just we don't know what people are struggling with, right? So if somebody gives me that compliment, and you can't see me, but I put it in quotes. Oh yeah, you look so good. Somebody, actually, I'm gonna say this. Somebody texted me. I'm not gonna say who it is, but they texted me that literally like 2 days ago. Like, oh yeah, you've been looking really fit. They have not seen me in months, like maybe over a year. I haven't posted that many recent things like you see, like Instagram, whatever. I'm like, and maybe I am. I don't weigh myself. I hate the scale. I don't think I publicly shared that, but yeah, I fuck the scale.
Yep.
Maybe I'm training for a marathon I'm doing in a month from now in China. Yeah, I'm probably fitter because I'm fucking running more. But it just irritated me because I was like, weird compliment. Two, I haven't seen you. So that's weird. Three, like where was the basis of like that, like saying that? I don't know. It was just out of nowhere. And I don't, and now you explaining this, yeah, like I was just like, huh, like, yeah, for whatever reason, it bothered me too, because it felt like a non compliment. Like, is that supposed to make me feel happy?
And
Because you
I
don't
wanna
even,
pipe in on that because weight has been a huge issue in my life since I was younger too, and we've talked about it. So we
yeah.
had an episode in the past. If you guys haven't heard it, we talked about body dysmorphia because Val and I both have a little hint of that, and it's
We think, and let me stop you. I don't know if I do. Like, that's just a guess. Like, I haven't been clinically diagnosed with that. I don't even know what the clinical diagnosis would be. So I don't want to say that I have it. That also irritates me because maybe I do. And people have told me that I probably do, but it's like, I don't know.
right.
But
Okay,
you
and
think,
I don't know. I
yeah,
mean, I've been told in the past that I'm looking in a funhouse mirror, but point
okay,
is, because I wouldn't even know. Okay, so you're right. Call me out on that. I wouldn't even know what that looked like in terms of looking
exactly.
in the mirror and what clinically you see and whatever. But I just know that I was raised in a household where it was such a big issue every time I gained any kind of weight or ate food in general. Like people were always
Mm.
giving me shit about my diet, or if I was eating too much, not eating enough, weighing me on a scale, and having such a tiny mother who is 79 pounds and Japanese. And here I am, Hapa, like I'm clearly going to get bigger than you because my father is white and he's 6'1". Um, and so as an adult, if people acknowledge, because it's always my goal to be fitter. Always. It's never not a goal. Like I'm always working harder to be fitter today than I was yesterday. And so if somebody were to walk up to me and be like, you look like you've gotten in better shape, or you're fitter, or you look like you've lost, like, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like, thank you. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't bother me as a compliment because in my mind, I'm like, well, that's the goal. That's just
So
me.
the
Yeah.
question to ask yourself, and there's nothing wrong with it. If you want this body, that's wonderful. The question to ask yourself is, why do I want this body? A
Yeah.
lot of people And listening to Valerie about your family, my family's Middle Eastern, I understand culturally telling me that I need to be thinner all the time. It's
Mhm.
always you should eat less, but also sit down, eat. So it's
It's,
just counterintuitive. So
uh,
the question
you
is
didn't eat enough.
why, yeah, why do you want to be thinner? Do you
I
think that
know.
or not thinner, sorry, to be generally people want to be thinner, and the question is why, not you specifically, Alicona.
Get it.
Um,
Yeah.
just think about the why is really the big question. Is it because society tells you that that is better? Is it because your brain thinks that that is more attractive? And is it actually more attractive, or have you just been taught that that's more attractive? Because
Yeah.
I know lots of thin people that I'm hotter than, and I don't know how to tell them otherwise.
Yeah. Um, it's interesting because that one compliment, like I said, I was just kind of like compliment back in quotes. I was like, oh, interesting. And normally, again, like I said earlier in the podcast, I'm like, someone says I'm skinny, I'm like, oh, thank you, Meanwhile, somebody tells you you're skinny, Alicona, you'd be like, no, 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 no. So it wasn't because I haven't liked that. It was because it felt like it came out of nowhere, and this person hasn't seen me in so long, and it just felt like it was something that felt like it needed to be said to make me be happy, or I don't know. It just was like, wait, what? I don't know. Disingenuine. How about that?
Mhm.
Whatever. But it's difficult because that yeah, like I keep saying yeah, I keep wanting to say your name in Spanish, Yael, Yale. Um, but it's so true because I don't even know how to answer that question. I don't know if I like an athletic skinny body because that's exactly what I've seen, because that's what it felt like was um good in my family and society. And I was talking to my boyfriend about that the other day because he was just like, where did that start for you? He's like, man, he's like, you don't understand, like women want your body. He's like, what is like girl? And I'm like, that's okay, like we all have our own perceptions of things. And it's hard to pinpoint that where that seed was planted. And I honestly just feel like since I was born, like
Yeah.
when you're born into having all these comments and these, um, I think for me, actually, it was in ballet. I was in ballet and I had to wear a leotard and tights. And I was the only girl in my class being Latina, and the only Latina that had thicker thighs and a thicker everything, booty and little arms than anybody else in the class. Everybody else was like tall, skinny white girls. Your typical, ballerina. And I remember, I think when I think back on it, that was the first time that I felt like I don't look like them. And I didn't like it.
But
And I don't
what
know if that was, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, but what sparked you to think I don't like that?
I don't know. That's my point. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know. Like, that's why I don't know if it's just because that was an honest thing to me. Like, maybe I don't, like Val don't feel like Val like that. Like, so I don't, that's the first thing I can remember, but there's just so much freaking to it.
I feel
It's,
like
it's hard.
I see. For me, my answer to that question is I know the answer. My answer
Good.
is a combination of society, of culture, and of parents. But parents wanting me to be
Yes.
thin. Um, Society looking at TV. Like I was a 90s 2000s kid in terms of like, well, I'm an 80s baby, but 90s 2000s in terms of like when I really got into TV, and I was that rom-com girl who loved to like watch rom-coms and 90210 and all the things. And the women that you saw that were attractive, that got the really good looking, handsome men, were always thin. They were thin and they had a little six pack or a four pack. So in my mind, I needed to have that six pack or that four pack. I needed to have that Britney Spears waistline because that is what's sexy and that's what boys like. And boys don't like me. So maybe if I can get my body to look like that, someone is going to find me attractive. So I know that's the seed of it. I know that I'm more than that. in terms of like who I am as a person. I have more to offer than a belly button. But that's where it comes from. And even though I have the awareness and I know better, there's still the motivation behind it of always looking in the mirror and being like, ooh, I just want it to look like that. And maybe I'll get that Prince Charming, or maybe I will be beautiful or whatever. And it's funny because now, yeah, I don't know if you know this, but Val knows. So I've been training as a wrestler, and I bring my camera in and I watch back the things that we do. And first of all the women that show up, I'm so amazed, and it's sad that I'm amazed that these women are all so comfortable in their body because it's all different shapes. And they show up in their sports bra and their athletic pants, and I'm like, I would never fucking take off my shirt. Ever. Ever. And
You've
like
never
I
done
said,
it in any of your rehearsals?
yes.
Yes, you have, or yes, you haven't?
Wait, I'm sorry. You asked me if I ever have?
Yeah. Have you ever done your rehearsals in just a sports bra?
Never. No. No. The
Wow.
only time I've ever worn a sports bra in public is because I had to. I was working on a set called Daily Burn doing fitness videos, and they dressed me. And I wasn't standing in front of a mirror the whole day. I was on set, so I couldn't even like look down to like really acknowledge how wide or skinny I looked. I can watch the playback and be like, that's like the one part of my body that's not in shape. Like everything is stacked. And then you get to my waistline, and for some reason, it's just like, and so, but watching myself in wrestling and watching these women, first of all, I love that they all are so comfortable enough with themselves that they're like, it's hot, it's sweaty, nobody wears makeup. I'm the only bitch that shows up with like makeup, lashes. Like
I was gonna
clearly I
say,
screamed like, this girl is either like way too much or super inconfident. And it's probably somewhere in between. I love getting dolled up and all the things. But watching myself on those videos, I'm like, Jesus, my back is yoked. Like that's so masculine and athletic, but the drive behind it is always I need to get stronger, I need to get more cut, and I need to get more like defined. I love the look of defined body, but on me because of my bone structure, I'm like, ooh, she looks like a linebacker. But am I going to go home and am I going to stop lifting? Probably not, because I feel like I just need to.
So, a couple of thoughts that I had. First of all, you are one of the sexiest, fittest women I have ever seen. I have seen your muscle definition, and it is hot. I gotta just throw that out there. Second of all, you want to wear a sports bra out with other people? Is that something that is that a goal of yours?
No, definitely not. I don't ever want anybody to see me in a sports bra.
Here's what you're gonna do.
Those who are that confident.
Here's what you're gonna do. I got you. You
Oh,
are
no.
going to walk around your house with a sports bra. Do that. Once you feel like you can do that, you will go get the mail in a sports bra. Once.
I love this.
Just
Tell her.
once. Just once. Go get the mail in a sports bra. Then do it again. Then when you go to the gym, wear one of those shirts with the like giant sleeves that openings that are for no reason that show all of your side. I don't understand why those exist. Throw that over your sports bra. Get sweaty enough, you will take that off.
No, I won't.
I go to the gym now. I had a friend who worked for Fabletics, and so now I have a whole bunch of cute outfits because she had a discount. I have full sets. I go to the gym in a sports bra and pants. If I can do it, you can do it. You just got to get comfortable in it. I wear crop tops. My mother yells at me when I wear crop tops. I do it even more now. Just get comfortable with it. You wear crop tops, right?
Me?
Yeah,
rarely.
you have amazing abs.
Well, no, I mean, I'm wearing one right now, but it's like there's only like not even an inch that goes between the skirt and the
Great.
and the
Start
very,
there.
Very tiny amount. But you know who looks
That's
great
the
in a
start.
crop top? Hold on. Valery looks amazing in a crop top. She has the most amazing obliques in the entire world. I just want to point that out.
David was like, "You're Miss Crop Top." I was like, "Listen, I like what you were describing, Yael." I was like, I don't have a lot of things that I am like, yes, I'm feeling myself. That's so the opposite of me. I need to work on that actively, truly. But the one thing that I feel confident in is my little crop tops, because I do like my waist. And so I'm like, that's the one thing I'm gonna hold on to. The one thing I'm proud of. There's other things, but the main thing. I wanted to ask you, Yael, like, how do you feel about when people like Lizzo, like she's big in the social media platforms, and like she's in the thongs and she's getting all this backlash on maybe taking it a little too far, the body positivity, and maybe um putting a bad light on women with that confidence, and showing too much to these young people who follow her. What do you think about that? Do you think it's still very helpful and necessary, or do you think it might be a little bit too much?
I think there is no too far. I think that Lizzo is an incredible performer, an incredible artist, and a great role model. I think that if she was not fat, if she was not black, if she was someone who was thin and white, this conversation would not even happen. She would be allowed to show her thong and her ass and do what she wants. And so I think there is no too far. I'm a free the nipple movement type of person. I think that we should absolutely be, showing off all bodies. If she existed when I was a kid,
Hmm.
it wouldn't have taken me till my 20s to start realizing that my body is not a problem. She's incredible. There are a bunch of other amazing artists out there right now. There's a huge the body positivity movement is huge and full of incredible activists who are fighting for fat liberation, for people of all shapes and sizes, for people, even people that you would consider on the other side of the spectrum. It's a big movement that is trying to make us realize that this is the body you have. You are given a body. You may believe in other lives, but you have this one life at this time.
Sure.
Why waste so much of it trying to change your body or being ashamed or hiding yourself? There's so many other things that you could be doing with your time.
What about your thoughts on the whole BMI? Like, I understand because the
Oh,
biggest, right, I know, girl, that's why I brought it up. It's a thing. Um, there's, the defense for all these, doctors and stuff. It's like, buddy, you're not healthy. Your BMI and your blah 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 blah. I'm not a physician, obviously, but and mind you, I understand that. Like, right, people who have kids, people are like, your heart health, your cholesterol, you want to live for your children and stuff. And I get that. And part of me is like, yeah, like, look, as your insides matter too. Like, yes, the outside, but also take care of yourself. But then there is that whole BMI thing scale that also is like, wait, what? You had a big reaction to that. Why?
okay. First of all, the BMI, although doctors use it, is bull. It is complete bull. It is one, it was created by mathematicians. Two, it was created for men. And three, it was created for white men. Keep that in mind. So that is where they are basing this information. And if you don't believe me because I'm just a stranger on the internet, Google it. So that's first. Second of all, the idea that you can tell someone's health based on the way that they look is also bull. That doesn't make any sense. If it were true, then only fat people would have diseases. Only fat people would have heart attacks. Only fat people would have diabetes. Only fat people would have high cholesterol. I guarantee there is a thin person in your life who has heart condition, who has diabetes. There are all these things that if it were the case, only fat people would have it. There is not a single condition that only fat people have that other people do not have. Is it a factor at times? So is smoking. So is, and this is the most important thing, your genetics, right? Last physical I had, I went in and I said, we really got to check my blood sugar. I've been told I should worry about diabetes. And the doctor said, why are you worried about diabetes? And I said, because I'm fat and I've been told by strangers on the internet that means I'm probably diabetic. She did my blood work. It was fine. And she said, you know that if you have no history of diabetes in your family, it's very unlikely that you will have diabetes. So keep that in mind. There are so many things that people think they can tell when they look at you about your health, and you really can't. And that also puts aside this idea that health is the most important thing. And yes, take care of your body. It's the only one you have. But sometimes things happen to you that you have no control over. So I don't know if Alicona knows this. It's on my Instagram. I'm not shy about it. I had cancer. I'm fine. Calm down. I'm fine.
Did
But
not know.
yeah, it's a thing that occurred in my body. And I had to get a doctor's note to tell my parents that it's not because I'm fat, because I knew that would be their first concern. I said, please write me a note. First I said, is this because I'm fat? And she said, why the fuck would you ask me that? Sorry, I didn't mean to swear. And I said, it's going to be their first question. So she wrote me a note, and I had it during COVID. I had I Zoomed with them. I said, here's a doctor's note. It's handwritten that it's not because of that. It is just a thing that happens. Sometimes people get cancer. Sometimes people get sick. That doesn't change anything about anything. Mm-hmm. So the BMI is bull. You don't know someone's health from looking at them. And sometimes you get sick and there's nothing you could do. You could get hit by a car, and that doesn't take anything away from your value as a human. I'll get off my soapbox.
No, I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you for sharing all of that. So many thoughts as you were talking. Thoughts were like, fuck yeah. Other thoughts were like, I'm so sorry. Another thought was even actually, Alicona, we have talked about this. I'm like borderline high cholesterol. And one of the things that the physician told me was like, you should eat healthier and probably like make sure you're exercising more often. And I'm looking at this lady like, bitch, if you only knew, like, you're not like, like I eat very healthy. I work out 7 days a week. Yes, you're raising your hand.
No, because I had the same thing. On my Asian side of the family, they just have high blood sugar. And for like the last 3 blood tests I have tested like 1 point high, to where they're like, if you go any higher, you could be considered pre-diabetic. And so I got this packet in the mail from the doctor, and it's like, because of your blood sugar, these are the steps that you should follow. And it was like, try to lose 10 pounds, exercise more, don't eat that much meat, try to not eat sugar. And I'm like, okay, first of all, bitch, vegan, workout every single fucking day of my life. If I lost 10 pounds, I'd probably look like a string bean. Like, exactly to your point, like all the things that it told me to do are all the things that I'm doing. And I'm like,
it's something that people don't think about is if we all ate exactly the same and we all worked out exactly the same, our bodies would all continue to be different.
Mm-hmm. Say it again.
And you have a friend who is very, very thin and eats a ton of food, and everyone goes, wow, look at how much you eat and don't gain weight. Why would the opposite not be true? Why would you why is it possible? It's not possible that you have a fat friend who eats better than everybody else and is still fat. Why would that not be true? Your body and the way that you intake food and the way that you react to things, the way that your body changes, as you both work out a lot, you know that when you do some workouts, they do a lot for one thing, and other people can do that same workout and it won't do anything for them. Our bodies are all different. There is no, if there was a cure, if there was an easy solution, right? If there was a very easy fix to adjusting a body's weight, then there wouldn't be an entire industry that's trying to sell you weight loss.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. It's tough, man. Even with this Ozempic thing happening now and being so popular and the controversy, and then the Oprah, like she was on the Weight Watchers or whatever it was. I'm not positive on that. And then being like, psych, never mind. Now I'm going to promote this. And Alec, we were talking about this. This part's difficult, and I know we have to go soon, but you know, when someone is plus size, and then if they do lose a little weight, then you have people being mad at them for selling out, because it's like, oh, well, now, you know, she's trying to be skinny, or now she's trying to da 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 da. And it's like, well, shit. It's like, you can't win sometimes.
Yeah.
It feels like, which is why I love everything that you've been about, Yael, about like falling in love with yourself, doing it for yourself, having that freaking self-love, walking around in the house for yourself. Like, that has nothing to do with anybody. Because if you start there, like, it's going to remain there. Like the outside influences won't matter. And I mean, this is, I think it's going to be a very popular and hopeful, very helpful episode for people. Your look on all of this has been helpful to me. So I'm about to be walking in some booty shorts later on. My boyfriend's probably going to send you a thank you note.
He's welcome.
Because those are some exercises that I need to work on.
I'm so glad.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, I could go on. There's so many stories that I want to touch on, but I won't because, like you said, Val, we're running out of time. So, Yael, thank you so much for taking the time to sit and chat with us and share your wisdom with us. I love you. Everybody else is, I'm sure, gonna love you. So, thank you, mwah, thank you.
Thank you for having me. This has been so fun. I appreciate you letting me get on my soapbox and yell at people.
Get on, stay on.
I love it. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Till next time.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.